securing iOS application. For beginners, thanks for joining here. Okay, hello everyone. A little bit about me. I'm Kapil Gaurav, work with Payatu Labs as security consultant. I have expertise in web, mobile APIs and hardware, and many more things going to add. I'm also part-time bounty hunter and MVP member of Buckrowd. Also acknowledged by Apple, Comcast, HSBC Bank, Mastercard, and many. Find me on Twitter. My username is Hackersday. And yeah, if you have any other queries, like ping me there. Okay. Rough agenda of today's session will discuss why mobile security is is important, and why I choose mobile security. Also, understanding of iOS architecture and sandboxing. What is that? How it's work, and introduction of iOS application. How to start iOS pen testing. Also, what is jailbreak or jailbreak is prerequisite. Also, we'll talk about dynamic analysis, static analysis, and few examples into that, and also runtime manipulation, side channel data leakage attacks, and breaking crypto with FIDA. Also, attacking URL schema and a few bounty notes for you. So yeah, why mobile security? So why mobile security is important? Having a good mobile phone has become a large part of our everyday life, and many people are underestimate the value of phone and truly hopes that when it's comes on the information it's stored. Your phone has your own entire life on it, you can say, or your phone is a portable storage device that holds as much data as it's able to hold. Also, your device is also mobile, having a mobile bank application, social networking hub, you can say. There are also many functions to mobile device that makes us realize how important and how truly it's protect the information stored within it. Yeah. Not only does mobile security affect your everyday personal life, but it can affect the productivity or success of business, you can say. Or hackers can easily manipulate and steal the information on your phone. Hacking may not always means simply stealing username, password, and sending phishing mails. It can be listening a conversation or hacking into any data built on your phone. You can say like that. So yeah, understanding security threats about mobile. Yeah, for most of us, lives are stored within mobile devices, as I said. So social media accounts, bank accounts, memorable photos, private text, calls, and and more at all a risk of being accessed without your permission. So fortunately, there are preventive actions for this threat. So people can easily access that information on your tablet, also laptops, phone, and more if you do not take the necessary precautions or prevention, your information being at a risk. Precautions such as keeping a passcode on your phone, as well as keeping a username and password such secure unencrypted documents. Hackers are very experienced when it comes to hacking mobile devices or any other electronic device. You should educate yourself on the ways your device can come under the attack from a hacker, since they know more about security threats and then you can say mobile phone user. Okay, understanding iOS architecture and sandboxing. I'll start with architecture, iOS architecture. iOS is layered architecture. At the uppermost level of iOS work as an intermediate talk between the underlying hardware and the apps you make. Apps do not communicate with underlying hardware directly. Apps talk with the hardware through the collection of a well-defined system interface. So the interface make it simple and write apps that work constantly on devices on various hardware abilities depend upon that. So lower layer gives the basic services which all applications relies on, and higher level gives you sophisticated graphic and interface related services. So that's why iPhone have high demands, you can say. Also, Apple provide most of its systems like interface and spatial package. It's called like frameworks. So framework is a directory that holds a dynamic shared library, and that is a like files related resources like header files are there, images are there, like helper apps are there that requires to support the library. So every layer have like set of framework which is the developer used to construct the application. So bit about the architecture layer, and the layer holds the levels and feature that most of our technologies are built upon that. So first thing is like core OS layer, and that core OS layer holds the low level features that most of the technologies are built upon it. Like you can say core Bluetooth framework is built upon core OS layer. Like another one is like external accessory framework, security services, which the Apple provides, local authentication framework, which is like under the core OS layer. Second one is core service layer. Some of the important framework available in the core service layers, like address book framework, which is help you like give programmatic access to contacts database or users. You can say there's a notes in your phone, so that is handled by like that framework. Also, Cloud Kit framework gives a medium like a medium for moving data between your apps and iCloud. Yeah, about media layer, graphic, audio, and video technologies is enabled using the media layer, and yeah, so they're like UI kit graphic also there, and core animation which is used in phone. It's a like initial technology that optimize the animation experience of your apps. So that is a count in like media layer. Last one is Cocoa Touch layer. So in this layer, like some frameworks count like event kit framework, also a game kit framework, like AID like framework, and map kit framework. That's like you can say map that like gives a scrollable map that you can include in your user interface of app. Talking about sandboxing. A sandbox is Apple's way of allowing application to set up a database on the device. So while still isolating the apps from the interface with the like applications. So because multiple applications will be like storing the data on the device and hard drive, I was ensure that there will be no conflict by assigning the each app its own sandbox. So protect your app from the other apps and trying to make like unauthorized access to the any data you might be storing, such as the password, payment information, and personal data like photos. No other apps like read and modify this data. So that's why sandboxing is all about. Awesome. Introduction to iOS application. Like this talk is going to be beginner friendly if you are already comfortable with hacking iOS applications, or like a pen testing, or if you are already having some pen testing experience in iOS pen testing. So probably this is a good for you, but I wanted to cover slightly like advanced topic as well for the those who have like a bit experience about the pen testing and iOS. So yeah, basic like iOS apps are developed by using Objective-C and Swift. Yes. So if you're especially like having some experience with hacking iOS applications, all right. So that's the like agenda for today. So we are going with like begin with some fundamentals of iOS applications, and we will understand some basics of iOS application. So let's begin with the introduction to iOS application. Let's begin with the introduction. Yeah. iOS application, just in case if you are hearing about the word iOS for the first time, uh, it's a like Apple operating system. And if you are using an iPhone, or uh, if you are like using iPad or iOS operating system, that like that you have the like those devices in your hands. So that's the Apple proprietary operating system. For iDevices and applications that are like being run on your devices are usually developed using these languages. So they are not strictly developed using these languages. Most of the app are like built in Objective-C and Swift. About C, C is the oldest but older language, and the latest version is a Swift. So that what I mean, the application that are like developed earlier, probably like 4 to 5 years back, were fully developed in Objective-C. So this is the language. This is the language we used to have. Like Apple comes up with a new proprietary language, so called the Swift. So most of the modern applications are like, you can say, being developed using Swift, because Swift is like a pretty easy to use, and Objective-C is slightly complicated. But at the end of the day, like even if you are building the application using Swift, Swift, they can like still go with the run using the Objective-C runtime. So that is the something that we need to like note. About Xcode, second point about Xcode, the IDE used for development. About the IDE and Xcode, if you are using a MacBook, then you might have heard about the Xcode. Xcode is the like integrated development environment, you can say, or developing iOS app on it. So if you are like, if you heard about Ellipse for Java development, it's something like similar that way. So every application that you receive, every application that you download from the App Store in iPhone, so that will like have extension .ipa. Similarly, something like you can text like a text file. Every text file have a extension like a .txt. Every PDF file have a .pdf extension. Similarly, every iOS application that you downloaded or that you develop will have like extension .ipa. So I'm going to show you some example application upcoming slides, so you'll get idea. And the last one is the apps can be downloaded from Apple Store. Yeah, we all know that. Okay, introduction to iOS application security. We'll cover here like understanding of dynamic and static attacks, data storage related attacks and checks. iOS side channel data leakage related attacks, runtime manipulation. Here you'll get idea about the how like application get bypassed, some features, and like premium features how will bypass. Also breaking crypto with Frida and variable schema fuzzing. So at the end of the session, I'll drop some notes for you also. Okay, getting started with the iOS application pen testing. Okay, before we dive into the iOS pen testing, we need to set up device so that we prepare for attack. We need to prepare for the attack. Security testing of iOS application, that minimum requirement we need. The iOS device preferably like, we prefer to like use iPhone 6s, or you can use also iPhone 7 and iPhone also X. Those devices are compatible for testing, or like you can say, if they those devices have iOS version lower than 13 or 14, probably you are still used to like 13.4 or 14.4, then you are good to go with that. Also, you can just buy the device from the market and then just go ahead with that, and like using Checkrun, you can jailbreak the device. Also, if you visit the Checkrun website, you'll get all like information how to do that. Also, lots of blog written on that. So yeah, I have listed also Checkrun in my slides. Basically, once you have the setup, like you have Mac, also like Mac or iDevice, which is a jailbroken, and now you are pretty much ready to go with that. The first thing that comes in mind, that is what to do and where to start with pen testing. So I also created checklist for my like checking the bugs and checking like where to start with that. So one of the thing which is obviously comes in pre-install, like pre-install tools, but you have to install OpenSSH or some jailbreak, like you need to jailbreak the device. Also you need to install the Frida objection in something like that you wanted to install on both of the platforms. That is on your Mac as well on your device. So Bubsuit, Ghidra, Hooper, and Idea Pro, any one of them you can use for the tools. So this is the like very basic way to minimum very minimum of what you would like require to just get started with the for the iOS pen testing. Yeah. So like I won't be able to prepare to cover pretty much everything for you, but how like things going on depends on that. Okay, so what is a jailbreak, and why jailbreak is needed and it's a prerequisite. So jailbreak is like a term used to describe like hacking into the Apple mobile operating system. It's known as the iOS, and picking it so you can like, customize the appearances, performance of your iPhone. The term jailbreaking applies specifically on iPhones. So when similar modifications are made to like an Android smartphone, the process is called routing. So yeah, so your question is the why the benefit of jailbreaking your phone. So that's the valid question. So jailbreaking gives you functionality or enables you to customize the look and feel of your iPhone. So with a jailbroken phone, users can install and non like Apple ringtones or browsers. You can modify the icons. You can like enhance the iMessages. You can switch up the control center. So even possible to remove the delete pre-installed app that you never use, whether that game center to stop like these applications stocks or podcast game center application you can remove from that from the device. Jailbreaking is also gives users access to much wider range of apps. Historical Apple has kept a tight lid on the products, and it allows them to the official app store reviewing each one to make sure it to does not crash frequently or certain malware or illegal material. But many apps that don't make the cut, or those developers don't want it to work with Apple, so they can download with the jailbroken phone and download with jailbroke the phone and alternate install the alternative apps. So what are the you can say what are the risk of jailbreaking your phone? So that is also a valid point. So jailbreaking your phone is installing unauthorized app could provide and developers with access to your photos, contacts, and other sensitive information that turns leaves you vulnerable to security attacks through malware and phishing attacks. So types of jailbreak. Yeah, it's similar to concept used rooting the device. Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll jump on type of jailbreak. So there is four type of jailbreaks. So first one is you can say untethered jailbreak, and untethered jailbreak is the type of jailbreaking in which the device remains jailbroken after even reboot the device. So this is known as a permanent jailbreak, you can say. And tethered jailbreak is a type of jailbreak which is a device gets back to normal after rebooting the device. So that is you can say temporary jailbreak. Semi-tethered jailbreak. Semi-tethered jailbreak is name implies jailbreak that relies on a tethered boot and pre-patched kernel. So that jailbreak, but you don't want it to bother with a tethered jailbreak boot. For last one is a semi untethered jailbreak. Semi untethered jailbreak is similar to untethered jailbreak in that it allows a device to boot up on its own, but it does not require, you can say, that user to run the app on the computer or system that helps to jailbreak the device again. Okay, so we'll cover a static analysis and dynamic analysis. So I'll start with static first. iOS applications when we start testing on iOS pen testing, start the testing on iOS, any IP or any file. So iOS application on a very broad table. So on a whole pen testing approach is basically divided into two parts, different parts, you can say, static and dynamic. The first one is called as a static, and the next is called as a dynamic. So dynamic analysis, let's say, uh, very top level of organization, like would be this, like you can say, when it's static analysis, as the saying suggests itself, that you basically test for everything that can be tested, like statically, that you do not run any applications, or do not run any make any network calls, anything, and you just have to like IPA, which is actually the package of iOS application, and it's like um, so you just have to the IP, and you wanted to get started with that, you just wanted to perform testing with it. So whatever you do with the IPA, that basically what comes in the static analysis. So if you wanted to you do the first thing, like understand the what is the IPA. So basically IPA is whenever developer develops an application, that code gets combined into the one file. So then like together, like with the all resources file, that application needs all of them and combined together, like in one form, in kind of like zip, you can say, yeah, zip format. And within the like extension IPA, basically the package file that gets created when the application is compiled. So now like you can say, this IPA file is basically what is being uploaded on the Play Store. Now this uh, now this is what you download from the App Store and install on your phone, and then use it. So that is the thing to do in static analysis. But obviously IPA, to get access on IPA is Android. In Android you can like download easily, but in iOS you need to like perform bit research about it, and then you can like export the IPA. But that is easy also. Next part is the static analysis. So we like once you dump the IPA file and extract the IPA, once we'll get a binary, after extracting the IPA, we'll get the binary. We'll start the like reversing. We can perform any reversing. Load your binary in Gidra, Hooper, or IDE, or start to like check the methods, and start to like check strings, what string application uses, and how that string relate to any class or method. So try to find out the classes or method to get to specific functionality using the using like a feed our trace, feeder trace, or objection also. So also we'll try to find out keys, token, pins, sensitive information from the application. Using the reversing binary, hook the application into application into the that is a will get advantage. We can do anything. You can bypass security controls like SSL pending, jailbreak detection, and many more things. In dynamic analysis, yeah, the second part is basically dynamic analysis. Yeah. Now in dynamic analysis, at the name suggests, we actually install the application. You need to install the application and device that then like it runs and it analyzes the feature. So probably the first thing you need to do is basically run the application, look into the different features, and that some application gives you probably make like note of all type of security controls which is implemented in the application. So could verify whether like the security controls are only on the client side, or there is a validation on backend, means that backend because if there is any API server. So if there is a security controls controlled by API. So yeah, only when the controls being you can say implemented by the client side, that you can bypass. As I said, once you install the application, you are running the application. First thing, probably make it most important part of the iOS application, mobile application pen test. It's look into the request and response, that is the application generating, which is also known as app traffic capturing. So all of these applications that we use these days are basically very smart. and application that make a lot of backend API calls to talk with the backend applications or REST API server, and yeah, then do actions on behalf of the user. Now like this so like major, and that is so major part in like iOS applications. So you need to check this also, request like API request. So what is being happened into the application through that. So that is also where you should, like a pen tester, put a lot of focus. And now you like to do that, you need to capture the SSL traffic, SSL traffic, capture the traffic and application. Now like these days almost, uh, see a lot of applications and iOS developers are like comes actually putting like SSL pinning as a protection, which is a great thing. A few years back, around like 2 or 3 years ago, uh, back, it was not the case. Now SSL pinning is extremely commonly pretty much very application that you can see on like App Store these days have like a self-pinning implementation, or the SSL pinning is like there you cannot just go with ahead with the like capture the traffic, and you need to also check the bypasses for that. So uh, how to do that? So you can connect again the application and multiple ways to bypass SSL pinning and jailbreak detection using the few tools. Yeah, also using the reversing we can perform that. Yeah. Uh, yeah, also you can perform the runtime manipulation while running the application in a like iPhone. Check the what exactly application does in background, and you can start the analyze the application and like pause the application middle of the while running the application. You can pause in runtime, and you can change the response values and what runtime exactly what is that runtime manipulation. And about local storage issues are there. Applications sometimes store like data locally in an unencrypted way, so user can like easily grab that data in jailbroken form. So developers sometimes store data in NS user defaults, keychain, core database, or like PGIS files. So yeah, let's dive into that. Yeah, there is like a few emulators for iOS, but that's still like under progress. I use one of them, but that like this one is like I'm not compatible to use that exactly, and that is not familiar for the pen testing, I think. Okay, for insecure data storage. Uh, so yeah, we'll go through this first. Insecure data storage comes into picture when the application is storing any data on the client side. Like you have seen in the applications like sending session token or authentication token on the server and retrieve the profile information. How does that like how does the server store the profile information, and how does server like store the like information, authentication information, and the token inside the app? So that is stored somewhere on the iOS sandbox, and that is such scenarios are like in iOS applications. So now one of those local storage techniques. So PGIS files are something like XML files. You can use the similar NS user defaults. In another way, like all those are like Apple's proprietary way to doing it's like store the data, but not in like a unsecured way. The PGIS file and NSS default SQL database is common client side database. It's a basically like a lightweight database, and in which you can actually store some data. I'm going to show you how it's work, and how it's work and in upcoming slides, and yeah, how we can interact with it moment. Okay, so yeah, in this video, I'll give you a bit idea about like this. These are all like I recorded the all vulnerability and all findings, whatever I wanted to show you. So that is a basically vulnerable application. So yeah, so this video we are going to look in the like a property list, also like a property list and also package files. that is which is a store serialized data. Usually the preferences for the application for user accounts, but they can like use to store any arbitrary data. It's necessary to understand the like importance of the package files and the data they can hold into them. And this is because they can hold sensitive information such as the API keys, AWS keys, sometimes a username, password, and then pen tester or bounty hunter, we can find these keys and the secrets. We can like exploit them and show it out client, whoever it is. So let's jump into that and into the Diva application, and yeah, we'll start finding. So there is a like those are challenges in local data storage. So I select the previous one. So let's open like after opening the Diva application, yeah, you'll get that. I put my username and whatever my password is there, or you can say like information. So accessing the like device, we will access device through SSH. So you need to install SSH also on your device through Cydia. You can install easily. So thing is, we need to know the IP address of device, and after getting the IP address, yeah, the one thing is that whenever you jailbreak your phone, after jailbreaking phone, your like SSH password is like uh, uh, a default password is alfine. You can use that alfine and you can take a shell of your device. Okay, now we are going to take a shell of the device and find out the bundle path. We need to find out the bundle path actually where our data is stored. So this is the path where iOS application store the data and var mobile container data and application. This is our sandbox. Yeah, there's a UUIDs. So you need to find out exactly which UID and in which the folder or in which sandbox your application stores your data. So for that, we'll use grep and through it we'll find out. You can see. Yeah. So you can see like application name DBI Shift version 2. So we'll go in this directory because we got the our application data is stored in which like sandbox or which UUID folder. After entering into documents folder, you'll get the like user info.pgist. Also in like a real life scenario, there is a lot of pgist file. If application is broad, if application is limited, there are like few pgist files you can go through it. So check every pgist file. You don't know where actually data is stored. You don't know actually like where developer is going to store that data. So you have to check every pgist file. And for reading that pgist, we need to install one utility which is called util. Util help us to read the pgist files. Exactly. Yes, you can install that Bluetooth through CDR, and after installing that Bluetooth, you can use in your device. So you get the like whatever we put into the application, our inputs are stored into like PG file in GLTX format. So that is what this attack about. Okay, next is about the NS user defaults. Uh, before dive into the video, I'll give you a bit concept, bit intro about that. So, user defaults feature, like NS user defaults is a feature in iOS. So I'm going to while reading and from the Apple website and regarding the NS user defaults, the NS user default is a class provided as a programmatic interface for interacting with the default system. So that default system allows to application to customize its behavior and you can say match a user's preferences at runtime when application is going to run. And you can use NS user NS user default object for that. So it's used to use the default database. So without further do anything, we'll jump into practical. I select NS user defaults. Using Frida will first sort the which application installed in our device, and will get the application PID. Also will get application package name, yeah, diva hyphen version 2. Our application is successfully hooked. You can if you wanted to dump the NS user default credential, then you can just put iOS NS user gets NS default get. So our value is stored in NS user. So you can see her demo value test user default. So whatever you put an application that is stored in here. So yeah, that is all about NS user default. About the core data, yeah, uh, there are multiple places where the sensitive data can be found stored in the local storage in Android and also iOS. So since core data is basically used like SQL internally to save information, also, we are only going to cover the core data here in this video. So basically, core data can be used to create a model, manage relationship between the a different type of objects, save the data local and fetch them from the local cache. So whenever you work with queries, so we'll jump into the video and get it. I'll actually check how it's works. If you familiar with Android testing, then you'll get that easily. here taking shell of the device, and again we need to access our sandbox, and after going to like application bundle and like we look where that information stored. To check questions in the end of the session. If you're confused how to get like a UUID, so that's a basic, very simple command like ls -r create TVI, which is a package name related to that. So you get the like model.sql database, model.sql SHM database. So those you can check with like SQLite 3 and uh, extract the information through it. Check dot tables is like whenever like we need to know the tables in SQLite. So that's the query we can put into that, and after like putting that, you'll get the all tables. If you wanna read any table, then you can put like select star from the like table, and so you'll get the details which I put in the like application, and that is stored in like database in unencrypted. So that is a word about like core data. Okay. Last one is like a keychain data. So going like a keychain. Look, when we look at the keychain and exercise, a keychain is like a mechanism that like sync passwords and like other information between the like apps, application devices that you have owned. So this could be your iPad, your iPhone, your Mac, or etc. Like your any device in counts in AI. So keychain is like a mechanism that allows to developer store sensitive information such as a password, credit card information, and any other sort of sensitive information. Or keychain can be like used to used to uh, store a lot of information, like sensitive information, you can say. So I've seen password stored in password and AWS key certificates and private keys are stored in like a keychain. So lots of applications are vulnerable to this. So we'll jump into practical. So after open the application, I put my input here and save into the keychain. If you wanted to check keychain in your iDevice, there is like two ways. There is one script that also helps you to dump the all keychains of like which stores in your device. So I am going to use a like objection. Okay, so that single command will dump the iOS keychain set. So that is basically what I like in objection. So that will like sort your only application keychains and to screen. So you can see whatever we put and uh, our application as a keychain. So that is stored in a keychain database. So here, that is what about keychain. Okay, this one is also interesting topic related to also files, database storage and keychains and this all stuff. So local file system monitoring is a I love just because of it reduce your bug. So there is a tool that you can say, or the script fsmon, that's a file monitoring system. So that utility runs on Linux, Android, iOS, or OS X. So the tool retrieve file system events from specific directory, and that shows them colorful format or in JSON. So over the file monitoring, so file system monitoring is helpful for identifying files and file structure. That is the application may be writing to just maybe like a database or plain text files, whatever the application using, which may be storing sensitive data. You can download the fsmon iOS version and put it into your system and make it executable, and then you can run. So obviously this could be any this could be any sort of file. If application was writing the next file, then you get easily that on screen. So whenever the application write that path, where application exactly going to write, you'll get that path on the screen. So it is possible to filter that events happening from a specific program name or process ID through this. I'll run the video. So if you run any application on your device, then you get the exactly what is going on and exactly which path is used. So where I use in background, I think iTunes and iCloud is using this path and store maybe something there in that PLish file. Also this one. So you wanted to check about any specific application. So that is also that's also helpful for you. I open that book application, and you can see it's deleting the resources. Also, something make something added into the page file, or something made changes in the page file. So something like that, you can analyze your application where exactly making change, or where exactly you need to find the keys or tokens exactly through this way. So that is a automated way to and make your work reduces for that for iOS pen testing. For specific application, you can find out the PID of your application and attach with the FSMon, and that will show you only the specific application logs, application movements also. Yeah. What we do here, we analyze the application runtime and which is file which files and which our input application stored in sandbox, and we'll get that path in our screen. So yeah, I hope that I attach that debug application here, and if I make changes and application after running the application, I put a credential or any text, and once it's stored, you get that where it's stored. You get the path of the where actually application stored that data. Okay, after storing that, you will got the hint, or will get the path actually directly. Uh, Application storing that data, and this uh, in that path. So user info, that package we already checked exactly where application stored the package files. Okay, that's all about the file system monitoring. Okay, side channel attack, side channel data leakage attacks. So as a user interacts with an application, like it may store various pieces of data around the system. So these pieces of data can that can be things like a type of keyboard, or things a keyboard or things copied somewhere, or screenshot of sensitive information. We can say cookies, and also device logs are there. So all of this a piece of information can be found by users with a jailbroken device. So if a device is jailbroken, then other applications may able to interact with this as well. So, and they could be steal information about the user, which is a uh, which is user having application. So this is varying in severity depending on the sensitivity of the application. So I'm going to show you exactly Diva application. Diva has a various challenges for finding sensitive information and storage location. For most of the challenges, when the sensitive data is typically credit card details, so in banking application, where you definitely don't want to data leak. So that's why that is also important for. So before start the video, I'll give you the overview. So first we'll check the application screenshot or snapshots. So when a phone application is backgrounded, so you can still see the screen when you go into the menu or select between the open applications. So this is actually just a screenshot, and that the app takes the screenshot within the being application being backgrounded. So when then the application keep it on the device, and that is what you can see. And then actually when you open the application again, it keeps that screenshot, and that loads in the application, and this provides a more seamless experience. However, if you background the application and entering bank information, that means the screenshot includes sensitive data. So when the iPhone or iPad user switches from one application to another, or return to the screen from the application, so the device create a KTX file. The KTX file is a exact copy of the user screen at the time they switch application. So I'll show you the demonstration. If you want to open the KTX file, you can use the Frieza, which is a file manager in jailbroken device. You can use it easily, and that is compatible for a jailbroken device. That is what application is captured. We'll get also this file name actually. That file name is same also on device which I open the file. Wait to get you. You can see exactly application cache that created that KTX file, and using that application took a screenshot, and user can access any screenshot if there's a banking application that is more sensitive. So yeah, so you know that how to open the KTX file. So on iOS device, you can use a Frieza, that's a file management application. to view the image on ktext file contents. Uh, for the device logs, yeah, when any phone or any operating system running and in background, so the application related logs are running also behind the wall. So you can check those logs using different tools and different methods, and check any sensitive information is being leaked through the logs or not. So here also I'm checking the application logs through iOS dump. iOS is okay the tool which helps you to and it's like more compatible for hooking the application and running on when you run any application on device, so you get all information about the application. Using that you can do same things which is FIDA and which do we perform through FIDA and objection. But I love this tool just because of that is a so flexible use and easy commands used over there. So for checking that logs, I use that tool. To submit the our bank credit card information, so that information is going to the logs, so that is also critical. So you get that, I think exactly what I wanted to show you about the pasteboard. Yeah, when text is copied in iOS, so it goes inside of the pasteboard. So this is the same as Windows keyboard. So these things are for pasting later in on. So this could include usernames, password, any keys or token that any sensitive information you can say. So the things here is also enter once we open the application and open that challenge pasteboard, you can put a credit card number, CVV and name. After filling the all values, we hook the application with the FIDA. You'll get the credential, what you'll get the whatever our credit card information and that information that's appear in console as we copy them. So yes, through objection, we hook the application here, and there is a simple one-liner command. You can say iOS pasteboard monitor. That is a continuously monitoring on your device, where check if you copied or if you pasted in text, so it will appear there. you can see over there like the all like credit card informations or pin is uh, cached by the application or objection. Also, third-party application cache that like easily. Yeah, that's all about the like so iOS side channel attacks. I think yeah, one of them is yeah cookie. Okay, about the cookies, like some applications like create the cookies and store them on a device to allow persistence within the application. So users don't need to enter authentication when they open the application and every time. So that is a convenient, and this may allow like credential to be like be on the stored on the device also. So in this like cookie challenge, we'll find out the cookies on the device and find out the username, password, and enter them into login boxes. So I'll put first the wrong credential. I don't know about the what exactly the credentials are perfect or not. So I put a random credentials, and that's like showing me like failure value answer is not right. Here also we are going to use the objection and look the application using the objection also. Yeah. And through objection, like once you like put the command iOS cookies get, then you'll get all the cookies related to the that application which you. So we found the like admin 123 username and password is a daily pass wb. Let's check those are right or not, correct or not. Yeah. This password and username is correct. Okay, next one is yeah. Okay, a runtime manipulation. That is what I love basically in iOS. So okay, so runtime manipulation. So what is the exactly runtime manipulation? So first we need to understand a bit about the C language, and Objective C is like many C is like many modern languages. It's like so that like it, you can say like it's a reflective language, and you can observe and modify the own behavior in this language and at runtime. So that reflection allows you can say program instruction to be like treated like a data, allowing program make modification itself while running. So objection C is a runtime. Runtime allows a program like, Objective C runtime allows like a program that is not create all the ad hoc or ad hoc methods. So, but create ad hoc methods and classes and the methods that's all over on the fly. So exactly what we do in runtime manipulation. So we can do in runtime manipulation bypass the login methods, access opening bypass. Also we can perform root detection. Also we can perform the root detection bypass. Also face ID bypass, touch ID bypass, and like some premium features over there in your application, so you can also bypass that. So how to perform like runtime manipulation? So yeah, so if you know the right station to tune into it and where to dial, and you can intercept these messages, or you can see what's going on the program, and what's going into the binary once you go to the binary in your Git Hooper IDE. So if you catch that exactly classes or methods, and if you know the like exact way to manipulate the response values and where to hit and where to hit, then it will work for you. So here's a demo runtime manipulation. So over in the application, there is like a 4 tutorials for the runtime manipulation. I choose only the one, a login method one. So yeah. Maybe be like checking the application of PID or package name. So we can start to see the methods being used by the like application by using Frida trace. So Frida trace is utility like a function or utility that helps you to trace the functions or methods using like using the like any like Android in iOS. You can Oh yes. So with this running like in the runtime manipulation, so once we click on the login method one button, so like you see there like prompt on the screen. You should not you should not see a like Swift function appear, and that 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 some for the like other login methods as well. You will see in like two different two functions below. Thing another perhaps. Let's hook the application to the Diva here again using the objection. So what we'll do now here, we'll like check the like classes. Okay, those are classes related to login functionality. So we need to like verify exactly, or we need to check exactly which one is like related to our login method. So I thought this one a login validate it's look like and or name it's look like related to that. You can check also put this login validate method into the like a Hooper or Ghidra or check exactly what's going on there using the preserver. So we'll check here uh, exactly what we like. We can see there are like two methods in which class we'll get here. So here you can see exactly we found that this is we found that class and we found that right now have method which is related to logging. So we found the class and method related to our functionality, which is a login functionality. So what we are doing here, we are watching the methods exactly what actually it does and what actually it uh, you can say showing a response after clicking on the uh, login button. Yeah, we hooked that successfully. Now we'll check. Yeah. So after putting wrong credential, we found that return value is 0x0. So 0x0 is always false. So we need to make it true. So you can change 0x1. So after trying multiple times 0x1, that didn't accepted the value, but using a true false on that, so that is going to accept that value. So when we are filling the login, the value is method is 0. So let's hook and set the return value to 1. And after setting the 1, curiously when I try to change it to 0x1, explicitly that fails. But if you use true instead of 0x1 in my objection command, it works. I'll show you that. So we are setting a return value, which is we got 0x1, which is a false, and we need to make it a true. So in other scenarios, you can put as a 0x1. So that's what maybe. Yeah, we hook there, and let's check the yeah. Yes, once you become login method one, you get the prompt congratulations, you have successfully bypassed the authentication check. So what we did exactly, which return value is our main original return value is 0x0, and we change to 0x1 and or 0 1, you can say, or true. So that is what exactly runtime manipulation is. Okay, breaking a crypto with freedom. So yeah, the first thing we are going to do to use a script here to check to bypass the checks to retrieve the cryptographic key, and this could be used to things end-to-end encryption. And if there is end-to-end encryption system, this could be used for any sort of local encryption storage, even encrypted traffic over the network. So that can be encrypted HTTP request. So it could be a number of things. So without further discussion, we'll dive into that. Using Frida trace, we are going to exactly trace the method which is related to the functionality. that is all about the encryption. So our guess is like, my guess is the developers use like this methods, the methods using this name, like encryption or corruption, or like whatever the this keywords maybe hope so in the method which developers use in background. So that's why I put like a star in like that column semicolon. So we defined here class, and this is a method. So we are like checking the all methods. So let's check. So once you put any text here, so you get related to the like classes of methods. So I think RN encryptor is a class. Yeah, RN encryptor class where those like you can say header method is the in RN under the RN encryptor. HMAX salt is the encryption salt is the save return header is there. So yeah, go for that. You can see in like yeah, different like methods also, and the RN encrypted class with password setting, HMAC encryption key. So we'll pick that RN encryptor method, sorry, class, and the method is the encryption key, which is we want to dump. Have you booked our application with like the frida.encryption.js file? So once you run the application, so you create the like exact value of that encryption key method, and what is like the response, or you can say return value of that method name, which is an encryption key. So yeah, you could try to see if there is just like ASCII hex or whatever it is, something else. But our for like our purpose, I'm just showing you how it's done. Like, okay, yeah. Next one is attacking URL schemas. Yeah, when you like we'll start with what are the URL schema. So when you click on any telephone number, or like it's like a tel slash like your phone number, and that once you open that URL schema in your phone, and once you open that URL schema in your like uh, browser, so that will like going to happen is like the whatever number you put there, so that your schema is going to forward with that number, and your application is going to call to someone, whoever is the number related that, like, so your schemas are like used to like application or like communicate like each other, and every application can like register for like particular URL schema. For example, Facebook have separate URL schemas, so Twitter have each separate URL schema. Our vulnerable application have URL schema. So yeah, so this means like that any URL, any URL starting with in my scenario DVIA slash DVIA colon slash slash that protocol will open up the DVI application. So depending upon that and parameters and the endpoints in this like URL or the application can decide what to do exactly. And another example is like your telephone application or your browser also. So every application you can say have some URL schemas, and that is used for the uh, applications. So of course, like if the app is well known, you will be able to find the several URL schemas like online. You'll get that. Is it possible to further the URL schema? Yes, sure. I'll show you how it's work and how we can further any URL schema. So in this video, we are going to further like actual URL schema, which is related to DVI application. That's a vulnerable application. After extracting the IP file, will get like payload folder, and in payload folder we'll get like a iCode hyphen swift dot application folder, and in that folder we'll get our binary, and we need to load our binary in like you can say Hooper, Hydra, or anywhere. I load in Hooper. Yeah. So this is our binary. So we'll like drag that binary in our Hooper. So let's wait for the load the binary in like our tool. So meanwhile, we'll check exactly what is the URL schema to like. So our motto is we need to find out the URL schema that like triggers some functionality in this app. So we need to find out that. And after that, like we can like build a like further for the fuzz them on the all calls with the open URL function and with the different fuzzing payloads. So I check here simple like application which I found while static analysis. So after checking that, I found something interesting in application binary. I found that actually here URL schema. I got yeah, this one, yeah, contact number is a yeah, parameter. So I found another parameter while static analysis. There's another parameter like message parameter. So we have a springboard, and which is going to help us like open URL with whatever handler has claimed it, and we're going to yeah. Yeah, we're going to attach URL scheme for the file, which is like works like how it's work. So if you have curiosity, then like it's open the specific URLs like scheme URLs, and find the executable names for the particular scheme, and like first the particular URL. So there is a well set insertion point. So I go to our scheme name, and we'll put our schema, URL schema. So that is our insertion point, and yeah, you can say 0 is the placeholder. So we're going to start the attack. So how it's going to first, yeah. You can see on a screen like we'll get the messages, whatever we are going to send through this fuzzer. So in case this application is going to crash, or if a crash repo is created, that IPS file which is generated in our crash folder, so we'll check there if it's happened. If not, then that's fine. Yeah, that is what about the attacking URL schema. So here no findings. Sorry for the unfortunately we cannot always expect and like have some findings, but at the least hope you have like as always learned something new today through this session. Uh, our last one is like bug bounty nodes. So yeah, many developers like hard coded encryption keys or hard-coded the encryption keys or client credentials or iOS app in iOS app. So select the string tab and search for the this tokens, keys, encrypt, private. So you'll get sometime the keys, tokens, something like that. Also, almost every mobile app uses at least one third-party library. Dig into this third-party libraries and check the versions. Many of them are open source, and if you can search their public repository for sure, for issues and check whether the current version of the library uh, is it's affected or not. The all libraries are inside the framework folder, inside the framework folder in app bundle. So hope so you get there something. Many also third-party backend systems for the for this the apps need some credential or configuration file. Sometimes developers expose the credential or private keys in the file. The apps bundle in bundle you need to search the plist or JSON or config files and you get some juicy information over there. If the app is not loading immediately crashing or glitching, try to search the classes after for method classes or methods for it just is jailbroken, jailbreak detection or rooted because chances are also you can search a CDR there because the chances are and they have jailbreak detection you need to try to bypass that. So yeah, after using the app for a while, check the user default files, which is a plist configuration file. That's sometimes the developers use to store sensitive information. That is what from my side. Yeah, and thank you. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, Kapil, for an amazing session. It was really awesome. So I hope our participants have got some new topic to explore and learn today. So guys, if you have any question, you can write it on chat box. Kapil will try to answer your queries. Thank you, Kapil, for the amazing session.
Welcome on.
Guys, if you have any question, then write it on chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Questions one by one and get back with that. Consider if propose a client gives an IP file. If we want to install a device, then how we could build an emulator device. We can for the normal device you can use Frieza. You put your file in your iOS device and open through Frieza. That is just too easy for you. And yeah, also there is an IP installer online. You can upload your file over there and you can install through it. Use CDR impactor or Diva. Yeah, that one is also right answer. Any requirement? Yeah, okay, we asked to client before start testing in iOS app. Requirement? I don't think so, but we need to clear the scope. That is one important part. Suggest some tools for static analysis. Yeah, there are different tools. I'll put it on Twitter, so you just ping me there.
Someone is asking you are from Nashik.
No, I'm not from Nashik. I'm from Kolhapur.
Yeah. And guys, recording will be available on our YouTube channel soon. Like we will upload in some times, so you can have a recap of the session there. Someone is asking, is there any emulator similar to Android Studio for iOS?
Yes, there are 2 to 3 emulators are in market, but I hope and I feel like these are in progress to develop. But I use one of them. But yeah, I'm not comfortable to use the emulator for pen testing actually. Yeah. And my final thoughts are thank you so much for everyone. As you can see, it is one of the topic I literally love and feel very passionate about it. And this is why I spend a lot of time during the research and trying to learn new things. about the new tools and vulnerabilities. I really like hope you guys are enjoyed and learn even just a little bit about the iOS pen testing. Even if you all learn one thing from this session, I'd be like happy for you. Thank you so much. If you want to jailbreak your phone, yeah, you can use different jailbreaks like Uncover, Checker. Yeah, I use both, and I hope those are like best one. Yeah, if you need the slides, I'll share with you guys. Sure.
Yeah, we will upload that slides on our like description of our YouTube video. You can check.
Are there any free tool, open source tool for the device extraction? I'm not getting exactly what do you mean by device extraction. You want to know about the IP extraction or something else? There is no any automated scanner, but there is like you can say automated analyzers are there. OWASP is a one. Another one I'll say IGF is good one. I use most of the time. For the whole device data and app analysis. I'm not sure about it, any tool, but I'll hope so. I'll ping you for that one. Yeah, thank you for this one. QRadar and Atospy are good one for the device extraction.
Okay, guys, then I think we can wrap up now. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you for joining this session. We will come with more sessions in next month. So be present there. Okay. Thank you, guys. I am just ending the meeting. Bye.